Hello and welcome to Grumpy Gamers. You're here with me, Pete, and along with me this week I have Ben.
Hello.
And Eddie.
Hello.
I would welcome you back, Eddie, but first we obviously have to say that Kirk is not here. And why is that, Ben?
He's not. Well, he's had 2 weeks on, right? 2 weeks on, so he couldn't possibly
fucking nosebleed area.
couldn't possibly bring himself for 3 weeks. And to be honest, we all thought he would be on for 3 weeks. That was that would have been a turn up for the books. That would have been great. You know, all four of us on the podcast yet again. And no, we got a message an hour and 46 minutes before we recorded, and it said, "Sorry lads, not on tonight. I'm out and about as it's my week off."
Yes. Out and about. He's out and about.
So I can only assume, and I assume you guys assume as well, that he just found out about his week off right now.
Yeah, quarter past 5 on Monday evening, he realised he had a week off.
My week off.
Where am I? Oh, I'm in town. Oh, no. Why am I in town?
I'm out.
Let's be honest, let's just hope he wasn't working all day before finally going, oh shit, it's my week off. You know,
well,
because that would suck, sure.
You know what? Yeah, to add insult to injury as well, I even messaged him halfway through the week saying, because of your fucking shitty comment about my prep, how about you do the new releases this week? No response for 5 hours, then boom, I'm not on the podcast.
Yeah, see what makes it worse is yesterday I messaged, went, oh yeah, podcast, a little bit of info, and everyone in. And you guys, yeah, fine, all good. Nothing from Kirk. And then earlier today, Eddie just put something up and just like nudged Kirk again. Nothing.
Yeah.
An hour and 46 minutes before the podcast.
I can only assume, Ben, he didn't reply to yours because he was planning for his busy work day. And then he didn't reply to mine because he was too busy working. And then 5:30, oh no, it's my week off.
Yeah, at 5:30, he realised he was literally out and about.
Out and about.
Well, what we should add here as well is it's not like it's a holiday, not like Eddie. He's not been away.
He's literally got nothing on.
Yeah, this is a staycation. Yeah, this is a staycation. He's just decided he doesn't want to.
I love how he wrapped it up as an excuse. Fuck me. Okay. Well, that's how much he cares about the listeners and about our time and the effort that we put in and all that kind of stuff.
Fair. And the industry as a whole, really. Yeah.
Good, but we are, of course, welcoming back Eddie. And actually me, I was away last week, but Eddie's been away properly, so... Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I got some notes.
I like that's how you frame that, not feedback or positive.
I got some notes. Okay. Some notes for improvement. Well, no, not notes for... I mean, like the first episode 2 weeks ago, my dad left a little voice message, which is nice because that's the... biggest praise I've ever received off my father, and it wasn't even to me. So that's
I really wanted to poll the voice note off because we got it through Twitter. I wanted to then put it in the episode.
Oh yeah,
but that would have been amazing. But I have not got the patience or the skill. Yeah. I've got the editing down to a swift 15 minutes. So.
Oh, good, Ben, because that's one of my notes. Is on the last episode. Fuck me. At one point, your dog was going off. There was a train going past, and it was starting I was like, what point does Ben edit? There's no point. And then you had to stop the episode to sort the dog out, and you still didn't edit it out.
Yeah. Edit is a strong term for what I now do.
This is the same man who complained
really?
for months about my microphone.
God,
and I wouldn't be able to hear the dog going mad.
Yes, but your microphone was tragic.
Oh dear!
And now we can hear the dog so clearly. It's magical.
You can hear those sirens going past Pete's window so clearly.
Oh, yeah. I am in London. They're constant.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. But yeah, I saw the Starfield event thing, and Kirk, to be fair to Kirk, he messaged me as it was happening, going like, "This is amazing. You will absolutely love it." And holy cow, yeah, it was the best 45 minutes of my life, which is a bit worrying. I thought everything looked stunning, especially like walking through the ship. You know, the only worry I have is the exploration. In these games, in Bethesda games, any open world game, I don't fast travel because I like bumping into stuff and getting into trouble or finding new things. And I feel like with the worlds and everything, I think you're going to have to fast travel a lot.
I think there could well be a significant need to.
Yeah, I think there will, which is a bit of a shame.
I don't think there's a takeoff mechanic from the planet into space kind of thing, right. So... Yeah, that kind of is a little bit immersion breaking, I suppose. But then again, if it's on such a vast scale, I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it works.
I suspect as well it'll be fast travel between systems, not necessarily
Yeah.
to direct locations. So you should still get some degree of that kind of
I hope
organic story.
Yeah, I hope that it's like Empyrean Galactic Survival.
Yes.
There's no jumping between systems. Yes, it's like a loading screen, which is fine, and everything else was fine, as in taking off and everything. I understand if you do have a little clip when you're taking off a planet, that's fine. But I would like the ability to, I don't know, fly to a certain place from a certain, I don't know, I just hate, the thing I hate about fast travel is I just feel like I'm ticking boxes. I'm like, it's like, go here and collect this, fast travel here, then I just walk to the house, collect it, fast travel back. It doesn't feel to me like I'm exploring and I'm experiencing the world, because I'm just clicking certain buttons on a controller, which I know is gaming, but I like to think
it breaks the illusion. Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, other things. The ship customization looks incredible, and the fact that obviously you can walk around in the ship like after customizing it, that is going to be. Oh, I don't know. I don't know why I was going to go with that. I was going to go with like scurvy, but that doesn't make any sense.
I thought you were going to go with an erection, but right.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep the sexual things out of this podcast. All right, from now on, I've had a word with myself.
So you thought you'd go for a pirate type?
Yes, scurvy. Well, there's something there. Ships,
Yeah. Lack of vitamin C.
Yeah,
negatives.
Yeah. Lack of sunlight. Yeah, there's something there. There's obvious No Man's Sky vibes, but I'm interested. I'm getting Elite Dangerous vibes for the Forever, when they were talking about the Forever game and going like you can be a bounty hunter and things like this. I think that part of the game will be the difference between me thinking this is a very good game and the best game of all time. I think if they nail the Forever game, like, I don't know, the things with the outposts and maybe blending a continuous job of bounty hunting or collecting or something. I don't know. I hope they've looked at Elite Dangerous and tried to go, let's try and take some of the Forever game out of that and put it into our game.
I think they might have done. I think they might have got some from Eve as well.
Oh, Eve Online, of course.
I suspect there's going to be a few mechanics from there to go with.
I'd love that to be the case, Eddie. Yeah, good shout.
Yeah, the Outpost section was obviously the best 5 minutes of my life, hands down. That was, Jesus Christ.
Strong.
Honestly, the first thing I'm going to say to my unborn child is going to be, you come nothing close to the Outpost section of this this section.
Okay, cool.
But you all expected that, to be fair.
Yes.
Overall, it's probably the best presentation I've ever seen, but that's difficult to say because I genuinely wanted to see this, and I was very interested in everything they had to say. But I still think it was just excellently delivered. I was so interested. I even was excited by the extras, the headset and the controller and the watch. If my brain would allow me to buy them, I would buy them. But obviously my brain goes.
God, yeah, that watch, like that collected it with the watch. It's like, God.
Ben was texting me about the watch most of the time from when it showed. I mean, that and the fact that Howard looks so young, so so unstressed by this.
He's been drinking blood, hasn't he?
Drinking blood.
Yeah, I mean. Right. Either that or this game production has gone so smoothly.
I think we said that, didn't we? It was like, it's gone so smoothly.
Yeah,
it's gone so smoothly that the guy looks like he's like 10 years younger. Fantastic.
Yeah, he's talking about being retired within the next 10 years. Like, he doesn't look
beautiful.
like it.
No need.
Yeah.
He needs to get through secondary school first. The only other thing I'm going to say, so that was amazing. Last episode, holy fuck, Kirk's pronunciation of JRPG was the greatest thing I've ever heard. It was so fucking hilarious. I think I rewound it like several times. The best thing, right, there's two things from it, is I don't think he meant to go Japaneseer with it.
No, he did not mean to do an accent. No,
I think he meant to say the letters just differently. And he didn't even need to. Why is he's obviously taking the fact that I shout when everything's in capitals, but he did it with RPG and JRPG.
Yeah, with acronyms, yeah.
Acronyms? Why is he doing it with acronyms? Yeah. Is he going to do it a first-person shooter next? I don't know what.
To be fair, I have been wondering, could we get Kirk's rendition of JRPG as our outro? Just have it, just remix it on the music. That's the entire outro.
If we had somebody committed to more than a 15-minute edit, then absolutely.
That would be wonderful.
It'd be the best thing we'd ever
Oh,
done.
you could, every time Kirk's on the episode, so, once every 4 times, you can edit that in as well instead of the hello.
Yes, I just thinking that, Eddie. I put that in instead of him saying hello.
It's a good job he never turns up.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll never find out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all my notes. I love that Donnie liked Days Gone because I've always, and Ben, you've always told me it's good, and I've always loved the look of it. But obviously, I don't trust your opinion. But now Donnie's said it, I'm actually thinking about getting it. Yeah.
What? Days Gone? Yeah,
Days Gone.
Yeah.
And of course, the feedback on Death Stranding was brilliant because I've been toying with playing that, so I'm all in on that this week.
Cool.
Wow. Love that Ben's been recommending the latter of those for over a year as well. That's
No, we have this and so many things in life where I recommend things and then it takes 6 months and then he plays it back to me and says,
I always do.
This is a really good thing. Like you should really do that.
Ben, Death Stranding is actually really good, Ben. I've been telling you about it.
Literally, I've lost count of the number of things.
Yeah, love it.
I've lost count of the number of things. It's not just video games, it's just general life. It's
Ben,
things we do all the time.
I've been playing these games called Diablo. You should give it a go, Ben.
I honestly thought you might go Persona there, Eddie, as well.
No, I can't be sick on my mouth while saying that, no.
Excellent. Oh, well, we look forward to your review. And good to have you back, mate.
Yeah.
Well, just to clarify, we will obviously now be going to news, new releases, a bit of what we've been playing, and our feature, which is the Nintendo Direct this week, isn't it?
Yep.
Perfect. But I will, for the most part, be phoning it in because I feel like crap. So
Yeah,
it's very
it's your
heavily
turn to be
reliant on you
hungover.
guys.
That's
Yes, it
because
is.
Pete's hungover instead of Eddie. So
Yeah, it's a Monday night on a normal weekday, and I'm hungover as fuck. Good times.
Who drinks
to the
on
quick
Sundays? You Neanderthal.
Idiots.
Heathen.
Eddie. Idiots, that's who do it. Anyway, all my regrets aside, shall we do the quick news?
Let's. Talking of Bethesda, Elder Scrolls 6 is 5+ years away, according to Phil Spencer. So last week, we'll go into this in main news, but Phil Spencer avoided the question of whether the PS5 would be getting Elder Scrolls 6 when he was talking to the FTC. But he was clear that it's really nowhere near releasing. And the team will be moving on to that after Starfield, obviously. So, yeah.
Now I'm glad we started with the most depressing news. Because
it's just that thing.
Almost 20 years between titles in the series.
Oh.
Yeah, you've got people who are just waiting for that. I know Starfield is going to scratch that itch for a lot of people, but some people are just waiting for Elder Scrolls, aren't they? And they
There
are.
will be people who've grown to adulthood in between Skyrim's release and Elder Scrolls 6.
Yes, yeah.
That is insane.
And they are still pushing that Elder Scrolls Online thing, aren't they?
Well, that's the thing.
When I say thing,
I remember when it came out, and I said this is going to be the worst thing in the world. As in,
because you said that actually because it prolongs the time.
Prolongs because why force yourself to bring out another game if an
Same
online
with Fallout
game's doing
76.
so well? Oh god, yeah, we don't talk about that.
But Elder Scrolls Online is actually massively popular, isn't it?
It's a very good game from what I understand, but it's not what I'm looking for from the Elder Scrolls.
No, it's not. So 5+ years until Elder Scrolls 6. Never mind. Next one, the original Call of Duty Warzone, which is not actually the original, it's just Caldera. It's shutting down in September. It's still playable now, Eddie. I know we never played that one. We play Warzone 2.
Yeah, I had
no shutting down in September. So people who, who say, oh, Warzone 2 shit, or the movement shit, blah, 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 yada, 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 they still play Caldera, but Activision are shutting that shit down. Next up, Minecraft is getting a movie. Who knew? Starts filming in New Zealand later this year.
That lovable cast of Minecraft characters. Yes, yeah.
That is going to be, mark my words, that's going to be fucking terrible.
But it's going to do numbers.
Oh, it's going to be the highest selling movie.
Oh, it's going to do numbers. It's going to do numbers.
Absolutely.
Diablo 4 suffered a DDoS attack on Sunday. And it was I tried to play Diablo, and I was playing Diablo, but it was like rubber banding everywhere, and I did get kicked out of a mid-dungeon. I did get kicked out, and it was a timely reminder to not get too attached to your hardcore characters until Season 2 comes out, and they add the protection from dying when you disconnect, because if I was playing my hardcore character this weekend, I would have died.
I meant to correct this, but it was actually, I think, Battle.net who got the DDoS. because it was happening to World of Warcraft as well.
Oh, was it all of
Hearthstone and everything else? Yes.
Oh, was it everyone? Was it?
Yeah, pretty messy.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think they actually put that must have been where it was from, because I actually saw somebody posted on Twitter like a message. It must have been when they tried to log into World of Warcraft, or maybe on their PC in general, because it actually came up and said, "We are suffering a DDoS attack." So it actually like kind of outlined it. Didn't do that on consoles, so if you were just trying to log in with your hardcore character,
Yes.
never mind.
Bad times.
To the heavens. But yes, but not an awful lot of other quick news. So it's been generally a quiet week apart from the big stuff. So let's move on to that
news section. Perfect. Love it.
Yeah,
Eddie, lead us on.
there we go.
Cool. Mine is, of course, about a legal case, and it's always about Microsoft because I always get stuck with these cases. It's about the Microsoft FTC court case. The Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, is suing tech giant Microsoft, as we know, the parent company of Xbox and Bethesda, over its deal to buy Activision Blizzard. The block of it. Here are the major announcements from its day 1 and day 2 now. We got Microsoft expects the next generation of consoles to arrive by 2028. That's a long time.
Elder Scrolls 6, maybe.
Oh, very good.
Release title.
Yeah, that's very good. Maybe they're building it for it. Indiana
shit, Pete,
Jones.
that's a cool.
Don't worry, Skyrim will be on it too, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones was originally planned to be released on PlayStation alongside Xbox and PC, but following Bethesda's acquisition, it was renegotiated to be exclusive to Xbox and PC.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know it was. That was a. I always thought it was exclusive to Xbox, but actually it seemed like it was actually up in the air. Yeah. So turns out it is.
Yeah. In a 2022 email by Jim Ryan, he admits that the Xbox acquisition of Activision isn't about exclusivity, and he believes that PlayStation will continue to get Call of Duty. This, of course, contradicts his earlier campaign, which pioneered the idea of Xbox withholding the series, even after Sony was offered a 10-year deal. What do you think about that one?
I think this is one that like everyone latched onto, and it's like, oh my god, somebody said something in public that they think in private different things about.
It is down to man lies for money. What do you fucking think was going to happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
man lies for his job. Man
does
protects
job.
does
Yes,
job.
They're
By lying.
Yeah. Christ.
like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. How about this? A company does job, Pete. PlayStation routinely pays developers to keep titles such as the recently released Final Fantasy 16 off of Xbox's
Shocking,
platform.
isn't it?
No, shit off.
No!
How would they possibly do such terrible things?
Again, it's one of these things that we all knew, but as it gets shed, as the light sheds upon it. What?
Everyone loves to get furious about things. That's the key.
Yeah, welcome to the internet. Phil Spencer says they bought Bethesda because PlayStation were going to pay for Starfield to skip Xbox.
I mean,
Here's a big comment. I would, if that happened and Starfield was on PlayStation, I would get rid of my Xbox and buy a PlayStation.
I mean, I probably wouldn't get rid of my Xbox, but I'd be getting a PlayStation for a game like Starfield.
No, I'm chucking the bin, Pete, because
Yeah,
they
just
haven't,
out the
even
window.
produced,
Out the
they haven't
window,
even got
just
anything
to make a point. You know, post it on Twitter as you throw it out the window. Yeah.
On that one, like Phil Spencer said some quite good stuff on that. Basically said that Ghostwire and Deathloop, PlayStation had paid for them to be exclusive to PlayStation, even if timed exclusive or fully exclusive. And he said that they just couldn't risk, because they're third place in the market, couldn't risk like Starfield to skip them as well, because PlayStation were in negotiations to make it skip Xbox. And they said that to remain viable, their option was to buy Bethesda.
It must be said, it does, on both sides, it kind of annoys me. The exclusivity thing will always annoy me. It's just fuck off and let people play things. Like, yes, it's...
It would, that this is a perfect example, Pete. If that happened, I would have been devastated, because that would have literally put me back $5,000, you know?
My only counter to that, Pete, like actually thinking out loud on this, would be that, yes, in principle, absolutely. However, they paid to get exclusivity to make more money, so that PlayStation then produces arguably the best first single player games out in the market. Like it all works off each other. Like they can reinvest more in things. So I don't know.
Diversification and actual positive steps than negative ones, if you know what I mean. I always think they end up better.
Yeah. I think first-party publishers who make consoles generally make the best games. Generally, that's not universal at all. But like sometimes they make the best experiences, I think. And having money to reinvest through things like this obviously does pay off.
It's an argument they can make in board meetings, I'm sure. I don't know if you could actually do a trackable, measurable way to make sure it paid off. You know what I mean? It would be.
And for me to say that first party games are better than third party games, that's a stretch as well.
We're speculating wildly. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely. Carry on, Eddie. Carry on.
Phil Spencer swears under oath to publish future Call of Duty on PlayStation.
Yeah, this was fucking hilarious. This was day 2, and there's a YouTuber called Destin, so Destin. He's done like recaps of both day 1 and day 2. And he quotes everything, and it's just fantastic. Like Phil Spencer must have said about 10 different ways of saying yes. It will always come to PlayStation, any PlayStation, all this guy, and the FTC were just asking again and again and again, and the judge was just getting fucking pissed. And then they finally asked one good question. They were just about to mention the cloud. And so, like, would you even put it on PlayStation Cloud? And then the judge just went, "What cloud? Move on." And it was just shutting things down. It was just fantastic. And then they said, like, the FTC was trying to like put Phil Spencer into a corner and say, like, "Oh, well, you wouldn't always do it," because Phil Spencer's basically saying, "Look, we're always going to put it on PlayStation." And then they went, "Oh, but would you say you always would do it, and no matter what?" And the judge went like, "Well, no, not for $0. Obviously they wouldn't." And then the FTC went, "Exactly," and the judge just went, "Yeah, that's understood."
Yeah.
Like it just sounds fucking hilarious. Like obviously, like there's a artistic spin that's put on when people are regaling these, but it sounds funny to watch. I mean, they were talking about the value of Activision Blizzard and saying it's 70 billion, and the FTC like said to Phil Spencer that it's worth more to Microsoft, and Phil Spencer basically said like, yeah, of course, and the FTC said, well, a lot more. So yes, well, you don't spend 70 billion on something worth 70 billion. That wouldn't do anything. Like we're not gaining value then. There's no point in that. So of course it's worth more to Microsoft. They were just trying to constantly back them into corners, but the FTC, they talked about the whether this would lift Microsoft out of being third place in the market, and Phil Spencer seemed to be quite honest and say, look, we're third. We've paraphrasing that they'd effectively lost the social construct of the console wars. And they're in third, and the FTC said, would this lift you out of third by doing this? And he went, no, I don't think it wouldn't do that. And they said, oh, so it's a write-off then. And Phil Spencer went, what? No, it's not right. What? Like, it just seems...
It can make you more competitive without changing your position. Like, how do you not...
I think he...
How do they not get
it? He angled it that mobile was a big thing as well, which is good. But they didn't really touch too much on the cloud stuff. The FTC even brought out a Stadia witness, or somebody who worked at Stadia, and I don't think it completely went to plan, because they basically said Sony was their main competitor, and they also had Steam and Epic as competitors at the time, and that Microsoft weren't really in the market, and it didn't really provide much to it. And I think the judge effectively cut off Microsoft before they really had to answer, and just said, yeah, so you weren't really in the market.
But this is the thing. I think the FTC at least seem to be treating cloud as it should be, which is less than 5% of the market. It is an irrelevance. Yeah. Frankly.
Yeah, they definitely seem to be focusing more on Call of Duty as like console gaming and Call of Duty with their line of questioning from what I've seen. Yes. But the main takeaway from all this is that Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer, like, you know, sometimes when you're in work or something, you just come across these rare people, and I'm sure like Jim Ryan would be like this as well if he was out there on the like answering question stuff. They're just fantastic at just standing there taking stuff and just answering shit and just sounding like absolute bosses. Like, and you get it with all these big companies, the people at the top. Sure, if you put Jim Ryan out there, you crucify it as well. Like, they're all just beasts at the top.
It's their job.
Weird compliment to end on there, but
I find it. I'm respectful of the people that get up there and they just fucking wear it.
It's their
just
job,
like,
but
it's great stuff. It is their job, and they're fucking good at it, and that's why they're at the top and paid fucking oodles.
Well, we had more Microsoft news as well to go alongside this, by the way, which is that they're raising prices. Nice and positive around the board. They have announced the price hike for the Xbox Series X console across most of the world, and for the monthly Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions, with the increases set to come into effect over the next few months. Yeah, so Game Pass for console and Game Pass Ultimate will be affected first, apparently, and the price is expected to start rising from the 6th of July, so it's not far away at all. However, it's not. However, existing monthly customers, that's like the end of next week, isn't it? Jesus. Existing monthly customers won't see any changes until August. So that's something.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought it would be a silly move to not do it right before Starfield, but 13th of August isn't like Starfield beginning of September, isn't it? So, yeah, smart. I think that's smart, because there's no fucker will get rid of it then. Yeah.
It's smart because I was even having a conversation with John and Thomas and the lights on Twitter last night, and it's getting rid of Game Pass is a very real. On James as well, like people just chiming in on like getting rid of Game Pass or potentially Game Pass just not having the same value as it previously had.
It's going up by £2 or equivalent, so like €2, $2, almost everywhere, and that is quite a big jump. That's 20%. Essentially.
So percentage-wise, it's a big jump. Already, like $10.99 Starfield, yes, Starfield, and I'll play Forza. I will play Forza Motorsport, but I should have got rid of Game Pass months ago. And as soon as Starfield is done, I probably will. And I'll get it back, of course, for games, but there's nothing. If you play loads of new releases and stuff like that, it's not. It's
still
not there.
I would say it's still the best one available. But if you're not looking to play the entire catalogue, the value proposition has dropped off.
It's very good. I do think if you are new to gaming or new to an ecosystem, the PlayStation 1 is fucking incredible. But as I said, if you've played a lot of the new releases in Xbox has a few indies coming, but I'm not getting fucking Game Pass to play Planet of Lana.
I mean, I love Planet of Lana, but it's a fair point.
Easy.
No,
I really enjoyed it, but it's a fair point. Nonetheless. Like that's not worth.
Yeah.
That's not worth
3 hours later.
1 month's worth of subscription at the new price.
No.
I did like it. Came alongside a wonderful statement from Kari Perez. We've held our prices for consoles for many years and have adjusted these prices to reflect the competitive conditions of the market, which followed up on the wonderful quote from Phil Spencer last year where we've held price on our console, we've held price on games and our subscription. I don't think we'll be able to do that forever. I mean, it's almost like they're written to a script, isn't it? It's weird that. But yeah.
Yeah. They've been open about it, but it's not. I mean, we ripped PlayStation when it happened. They're obviously put a time distance between them doing it, Xbox doing it, and PlayStation doing it, but it's not good for it's just not good for anyone, is it? And Xbox don't fucking sell any consoles.
And this is
should be taking it the other way. Absolutely.
Xbox Series X is going up by £30 and by €50, I think. Yeah, €50. It's quite a big jump for the main console as well. They're now almost $1,000, Eddie, as you say.
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Oof.
Half a G.
Half a G.
Yeah. So, all positive for Xbox, yes.
Yes. I've got... This has been a fucking Xbox heavy news section, isn't it? Literally nothing's happened apart from Xbox stuff this week. So anyway, my story is yesterday there was a story which may or may not be true that Starfield
it started well.
that Starfield will not have a physical disc. Now I can't be categoric either way because by the time this podcast comes out, this can be either old news, not going to be news, or it's going to be like
fake.
The story doesn't exist. So I'll say what happened. A tweet was put out by Bethesda. I think it was Sunday. Answering a support query about Starfield, or whether a disc would be included in certain editions. The answer was quite clear. It said all physical editions include a code for the chosen platform. There are no physical discs. That is quite clear. The tweet was then deleted after some time after. A lot of people got into tiz about it, and people were talking about it all on Twitter. Bethesda's Spanish account tweeted out, and they were saying that the standard edition does contain a disc, but I don't think there's been an official response from Bethesda yet. So, I mean, I don't know the answer. It probably does have a disc. It probably does. But do we think this matter to you guys? I guess they don't, because you're digital, Eddie, and Pete, you play on PC mostly.
No, of course it doesn't fucking matter. It's day one Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
For most people, yeah, it doesn't. For most people, it doesn't matter because they're just never gonna see. They would never even think about buying this version, right?
If this story was 5 years ago, I'd be going mental because I am a CEX whore. Like, I would be there every week.
Sex whore. That's essentially how that would be pronounced.
Yeah, you can say that.
I can.
Yeah.
Right, good. Thank you. Right, good.
You're a sex worker of CEX.
Of CEX. That's where I used to do my business. And I used to be there all the time. And this would devastate me. But now, no, I don't really have problems with the fact that I've moved over to digital.
Yeah, I still buy physical games, but mostly that's through habit because I used to buy them and trade them all the time, and I'm getting back into trading my games or selling my games after playing them now, because I like to buy day one, so therefore you're spending more money, so you want to recoup some of that cash back. That's the way I look at it. So that's why I care about physical. But game collection, I think collecting modern video games, and apologies for anybody out there who does this, I think it's pretty worthless. I think digital is the way to go. It's obviously the future, and games don't even come on the you can't even play a game off most of these discs anyway. So it's no preservation at all. It's just something to have. So yeah, I wouldn't see it as a massive deal if they did do this. And equally, Pete, you mentioned Game Pass. I was thinking over the weekend, like, this £35 early access to Starfield. So do you know about this, Eddie? Did you hear about this?
Oh yes, I did on the podcast. You said
yeah.
that,
So you can get Starfield a couple of days before it releases, like, what is it, 4 or 5 days or something, Pete? So 5 days early, if you either buy a copy, or you pay £35 if you've got Game Pass. You just have it for those 5 days beforehand. And I was thinking about this, like, because £35 is expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's fucking expensive. However, people will do it, and you don't have to do it. Like, I think it's incredible business. Like, if they had this plan from the start, if this is what they were planning, because they put all of this in Game Pass, and people go like, oh, how can you afford Game Pass? Like, Game Pass isn't sustainable. Blah 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 blah. This is magnificent business play. like I have to respect it, because £35 is fucking redonkulous. Yeah. But I'll probably pay.
You could see many of us paying it. Even I might.
Absolutely, and I won't complain because I
will complain,
respect,
but I might,
because I don't have to. Because I could just play it 5 days later for free, and it's my choice to have it on. I mean, they're playing fast and loose with the words day one, aren't they?
Also,
but yeah, I do think it's masterful if this is the way they're doing it going forward.
Will it be on day one of those 5 days, or after the first 5 days?
Yeah, of course it will. That's day one, but that's the actual day one. It's early release. It's day one masquerading as early release.
Early access.
That's going to be a big problem for me, because do I play it day one and then obviously get all sad when everything's completely fucked? Or do I just stop myself playing it until day one patch?
No, it will be.
No, day one patch will be on this day one, Eddie, and it won't be fucked. They will.
Right.
What I like is that all game creators in the world now either release a game and then actually only finish it 3 months later, or they finish a game and then release it several weeks later so they can farm money off the people who want it earlier. Well played. Well played.
Well, can I just point out at this point that today or yesterday, Alan Wake 2, obviously that is coming out as a fully digital release and it's not coming out on disc. And one of the reasons they gave for that was that they could work on the game up to release then, because you don't have to put something on disc. Now, I don't really believe that, because surely if you're having a day one patch, then their reasoning was the thing you put on a disc should work. And they say that they need to be able to work on it up to day of release, so they're going to do it digitally. A lot of games don't do that, and you have to download a part of the game, and they put like a fucking gig on the disc, and so that defeats the object. But let's just say that Starfield does need all the time in the oven it can get. Maybe this not having a physical disc, there could be legs in this story. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
For now, not quite news, but yes. Wonderful. What a nice way to finish it off. Well, that does take us on to the new releases, and after a rotating cast for a couple of weeks, it's back to the main guy.
Yeah, I like how both of you tried to copy my style as well. I have my own style,
thank you, which is manic.
Got a lot of time for that.
Yes.
Yeah, Kirk went full movie trailer.
Yeah, I like how many mistakes he made.
Oh no, or was it Pete? No, Pete went bit movie trailer as well.
Well, you both put on this weird voice. Both of you went like, set in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth. It's so weird.
What's the word you use? What's the word you use?
You did actually both do the same thing.
It's like every time you're like, zhuzh it up a bit. That's that's the Vim voice. Yeah, that's all I've got.
Oh dear, you ain't got that from me today.
So what you got, Eddie? What you got?
I've got nothing. First game, Revival Recolonization, coming out on PC June 28th. Set in a oh my god, set in a post-apoc version of Earth. That's
saving on those characters. It's obviously pay per character.
It's not fucking Twitter, mate. Just put apocalyptic. What the
like? Is that?
Or P-apoc, or Papoc, just to shorten it even further. Set in a Papoc version of Earth, Revival is a 4X strategy game where the world and its rules can change at key moments, creating a deep and highly replayable experience. Quite simply put, it's a futuristic Civ game, basically. It even looks quite similar to Civ. It looks like it doesn't really bring anything new to the table. Pete, you are a veteran of these type of games.
I think the last sentence you said there was very accurate. I don't think it's bringing much new to the table. Obviously, quite like the look of it, but like all the recent Civs as well, the expansion of all your cities into like multiple hexes. I've ever since then I've gone off these games, ever since that started happening. It just makes the cities feel like too much of the world. Yeah.
You have a real immersion breaking thing with like sizes and stuff.
Basically, it's like when you've got a planet that is like 35% city in medieval times, say in Civ, it's just like, this is a bit dumb now. Like, come on. Yeah. And anyway. Yeah, I think it'll be good for anyone who likes Civ, particularly if you like Civ and Fallout. I reckon you'd probably, you'd want to do it. I've gone off Civ, so I think I probably won't be into this either.
Yeah, I don't rate the developers and publishers are HeroCraft, which they did a few bad Warhammer games. They also did Anvil Saga, which I haven't got because people keep on saying how badly made it is. It's still on my wish list, don't get me wrong. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this one a miss as well, personally. Yeah. All right, let's move on to AEW Fight Forever, coming out on PC, PlayStations, Xboxes, and Switch, June 29th. Developed by Ukes. Is that Ukes or is it YUK?
I think it's Ukes, yeah. I think it's Ukes.
Yeah, Ukes. AEW Fight Forever combines nostalgic arcade wrestling with all elite wrestling finishes and moves, featuring a big roster of AEW talent, multiple match types, robust career mode, tons of customization options, and more than 40 weapons, and so much more. So yeah, it's a wrestling game. It has many different modes, as it says. Quite interested to see the career mode. To be honest with you, we know the latest WWE game that we talked about probably last month or whatever it was. That's doing really quite well. So I don't know if this will be good or bad for it. I assume bad, because then everyone will still be playing the WWE game, and apparently all its features are really good. But then again, if you're into your wrestling games, maybe that WWE turns you on to them again. Sorry to bring sex into it again. And maybe you want to play this. I don't know.
I think Ukes used to make the old WWE games before it changed developer, I believe. I mean, we're not too into this. I know that Pure Dead Gaming are covering this game massive. They're into the Reddit wrestling. Nice. They're all over the old wrestling. So yeah, they'll be covering this week on their podcast, I'm sure.
All right, nice. All right, let's move on then to Mindset. Coming out on Quest 2, June 29th. Fucking this is a bit blurred. Why do they have to do this? Right. Take on an intellectual challenge and use your wits to solve dozens of intriguing cube-shaped puzzles while unravelling the mystery of your past. Enjoy an advanced hand tracking system that enables you to activate, connect, and shift an array of combinations with your own hands. Delve into an immersive story taking place in a bizarre lucid dream, or show off your skills in the challenge mode. The blurb is more complex than what this game is, in my opinion, but I won't show on it too much. Yeah, it's just a very simple looking puzzle game. If it wasn't on VR, it would be one of those really bad mobile games that you see like a streamer doing a really bad advert for. Yeah. You know the ones. I'm still not mad at it though, because it's VR content and I want as much VR content out there as possible, but it doesn't look like a reason to buy the Quest 2.
You don't want to drop half a G for
yeah,
correct. For this. I don't want to drop 10 quid for this.
This looks absolutely wank.
Yes, it does.
Oh, I thought you were going to go wonderful.
It looks... Oh, God.
It's a weird move, isn't it? Do you think to bring this out on Quest 2?
You got to put... If you made it, you got to put it somewhere.
To be honest, but yes.
Yeah, like, might as well make it VR.
But like, surely, like, when they're in the room and they're going, like, here's our budget, like, oh, let's make this game. Like, why was the decision made?
Yeah, it's a question. It's a question that people would ask through the ages about this, but this will not live in anyone's mind more than we're talking about it right now.
Oh, dear, it's the last time we will ever talk about Mindset
anywhere.
And also, can I just point out that this is a terrible, 100%. Terrible name for a video game, because I typed that in on Google, and you have to really get so specific to actually find it.
Oh, yeah, you do, because even Mindset-game doesn't do it, doesn't it?
Exactly. Yes, you have to add Quest 2. I put game, I put video game, I put Steam, I put... It's just like... Awful.
Yeah, for our listeners to even look at this game, Mindset Game Quest 2. Don't put anything less, else you won't get a shit. Oh dear. Right, let's go on to a very bad game. Onto a very good game. Power Wash Simulator. And it's getting... Yeah, Pete, you love it. You fucking love it. Coming out in DLC. It's DLC. It's SpongeBob SquarePants Special Pack. Yes! You wash stuff from SpongeBob SquarePants. I did type, oh, it's crinkly bottom, and I went, ooh, Eddie, I don't think it is that, and check, because the boys will rip the shit out of you. No, it's
What's
bikini
crinkly
bottom
from?
All right, it's not.
What's that?
Is it?
I don't know. Is it maybe something to do with Mr. Blobby or?
Well be.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm finding out what that
crinkly
is.
bottom.
Blobbyland. Yeah.
Honestly, I typed out.
Also known as crinkly bottom.
Is it?
What is it?
Wow, how the hell did I have that in my brain?
Jesus,
that's so weird.
That's right back in there.
That's I just typed in, oh, you get to wash things in crinkly bottom.
I tell you what, they should add that as
deep,
the next
a deep memory callback.
I bet Americans don't know what Mr. Blobby is, and now they're typing it in and they're going, "What the fuck is wrong with British people?"
What was happening in the 90s? Yes.
Why was this so popular? This is ridiculous.
And how do I visit Crinkly Bottom?
I only looked up before this podcast is shut down. Anyway, let's move on to Crime O'Clock, coming out on PC and Switch June 30th. Crime O'Clock is an investigation and time exploration game with a deep storyline. Investigate cases through time and evolving maps by unveiling a multi-eras linked story. Will you be observant enough to solve the mysteries? Crime waits for no man.
Unveiling was an interesting one.
Nice ending.
Unveiling. Yeah.
Unveiling. Not unveiling.
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 Interesting.
Unveiling. It's because, it's after that word, I go down to the next page.
Yes.
So I was already finishing it, and I'd already had unveiling locked and loaded. So
Can I just say, as you've read that and made a mistake doing this, like, isn't it amazing that after Kirk doing them last week, I thought, thank God the Master is back. And then I get unveiling. It's a treat on my ears.
Sorry, Master, do you know how many mistakes I make on these, Ben?
I am remembering now, Eddie.
Have you forgot?
What makes it for me?
I know it does.
Exactly.
It is. Unveiling is a treat for everyone.
This is why I make so many mistakes in my life. I'm very good at dealing with it. I just move while Kurt goes, oh, fuck, oh, shit, oh, no, oh, is that right? I just fucking roll with it.
And then Kirk is so worried.
He is. Right, this is a point-and-click puzzle game. It has 5, Where's Waldo type maps, as in it's done in a black and white colouring book sort of thing. Apparently during your adventure you can upgrade it to the systems to unlock new features and stuff. To me...
colour?
Possibly. Don't get too ahead of yourself. All right.
That's not confirmed.
Spoilers.
Yet, Ben. To me this looks really simple and really bad. Is a free demo, so
I bet it's hard as shit.
I
bet
think
it is.
Probably would be. I don't know. There's something about the art style here I quite like the actual drawing, if you know what I mean. I quite like about it, but it's not going to make me buy it.
Okay, Pete. I mean, that's stretching, man.
But what else has it got in the game? There doesn't seem but you look at it, the art is quite nice. If they coloured it in, my God.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit game, no fans. Move us on, I reckon.
Wow. That's a bit harsh, but fine. Right, next one. Ben's favourite. Everybody 1-2 Switch. Coming out on Switch, June 30th. Probably didn't need to say that it was coming out on Switch today. Get together in groups and compete in a host of weird and wonderful mini-games featuring everything from balloons to aliens and more. Can you do that? Featuring from everything from this and then to this and more? Surely everything's covered in balloons to aliens.
Look, we
right?
know Switch games don't get great blurbs because they expect no one to ever find them because you have to search the internet high and wide.
It's impossible to fucking find them. Yeah, correct. You'll use your Joy-Con controller or smart device, Star, in fun and unique ways, earning points for your team. In time-honoured fashion, the team with the most points gets to claim the glory. And Pete didn't copy the Star in, so I don't know why they've put smart device Star. I assume certain smart devices, but there we go. It's a lots of mini games kind of game. Ben, you shat on this a couple of weeks ago when you saw it in the whatever it was. So, do you want to say why you're surprised?
I'd love to meet the person who is really looking forward to this, so that I could avoid them for the rest of my life. This is. Ugh.
Do you think this is the kind of game that dads see and go I think my family might like this, my wife might not divorce me this week?
You could buy this and I'm sure have fun of an evening with your family, on a Christmas Day type thing. I genuinely think you probably could have a 5-minute, 10-minute of fun and that, but you never ever pick it up again. And no one's mastering any of these mini games,
I need to get to high school.
Yeah, no one's saying that.
You know what really pissed me off is that the main advert person for this whole game is that toy horse mask that people were wearing a year ago. Yeah, that's it. It's that. I don't know why. Like, why is that the main person? Because it's an animal mask on maybe a human. I don't know, because it's computer generated.
Wow.
These things stress me out.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
So Ben, is this a day one purchase, I assume?
Day one. Already pre-ordered. Pre-orders went live 2 weeks ago when there was no trailer or anything visible for the game.
I am coming round and we can have a great evening.
Excellent.
Right, next
I look
one.
forward to locking my door.
Okay. Master Detective Archives Rain Code coming out on Switch June 30th. That is a truly terrible name. Uncover a brand new lucid noir detective adventure game from the minds behind the Danganronpa series.
I really want
that.
Yeah, but it is quite a known series. Yeah.
Danganronpa series. In a Master Detective Archives Rain Code for Nintendo Switch. It's a detective adventure game. The visuals are like very anime, JRPG look to it, that sort of
You
thing.
didn't shout JRPG, Eddie?
Oh, very good. JRPG! The characters are insufferable, in my opinion. Not for me at all, this game. In fact, this is a typical Switch game that I can't stand. Ben, you play Persona, so this must be okay.
I quite liked the look of it, to be honest, and it does have a Persona type style to it, and it's more of an adventure game. Yeah, I actually thought this looked pretty good.
This is. I just want to add, this is £50.
Yes, it is £50. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I saw that as well when I was looking this up, because obviously you have to go on the online Nintendo eShop to get a blurb for this. And yeah, £50 is a stretch, but I'm sure there will be people that are all over this.
Stretch, like
Yeah,
like this is £50, and how much was Alien Dark Descent? Is it sitting at like 35 or something?
Yeah, £35. But I bought Tokyo Mirage Sessions for £50 back in the day, so
You're
I
well
can
versed in these mistakes.
Jesus Christ.
I am well versed in buying these types of JRPGs for ridiculous money, and I bought Shimagane Tensei 5 for £50 as well.
Oh,
Eddie
God,
thought he
so
was the
much
only one
money.
who consistently made mistakes. My God. Anyway.
God.
Yeah.
Not with that many. I've never spent £50 in my life on one item.
You did for Cyberpunk.
That's why my card runs like shit. That's why everyone takes it. Shut up, Pete! We don't talk about the Cyberpunk debacle. That never happened. And don't even think about bringing Battlefield up. Fuck me.
Oh,
Right.
that was an expensive mistake.
That's an expensive mistake, that was.
That was so bad. Actually.
All right.
You wanted to hear about Battlefield? On that night when we bought it, I even had to, because my internet was so shit, I took my Xbox round to my girlfriend so I could use her internet to download it so that we could play specially. It was a whole exercise.
Time as well as money.
So we could play.
We bought that game on early access, Battlefield 2042
Love it.
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that
days.
was a tricky one. And
The
the
COD
worst
killer.
thing, the
COD
best
killer.
bit about the game that we found was when you could play old Battlefields. That's
Yeah.
it.
I remember when we turned it on that first night, I went, "Ooh, this does
can't
not
be it."
look good."
Yeah, it looked as bad as when you're rendering into a map in Warzone, and
it was like we loaded in and we were like, this is the map from the trailer. That trailer was awesome.
Yeah, that trailer looks stunning. Why am I playing
trailer was incredible,
Minecraft
man.
right now?
That trailer was insane. It sold that game.
Yeah, sold it to me, unfortunately. Right,
Digital,
let's
baby.
move on. Samba del Amigo.
That's
Mine?
not it, so-
Samba
Samba de
de Amigo. That's right, isn't it?
No one would
Samba
ever
Amigo,
find
yeah.
this game.
Samba de Amigo, the Party Central. I think that's my Spanish, but I'm not sure. Coming out on Switch June 30th. It's time to shake it on center stage in this vibrant rhythm action game. Amigo and his friends are back in Samba de Amigo, Party Central. Pick up your maracas and groove to 40 hit songs from the world's... Are we not going to comment on how well I just rolled that maracas out there? Are we not
If you
gonna say
hadn't
anything
started
about that? That
praising
was
yourself
pretty good,
immediately, you might have got some at the end.
right? That was...
Yeah, he
That was
gave us
brilliant.
no time. He went
He was
instant
so
praise.
surprised.
You needed to interrupt me to say how good that maracas one was. The world's most popular genres, with even more arriving as post-launch DLC. Weird that they're advertising post-launch DLC in the blurb for the game, but I'm going to allow it. Main website doesn't work.
You're
That's
so right.
good.
It doesn't. It doesn't, does it?
I clicked
It
on
wasn't you.
I thought it was me. I even went onto my laptop that's next to my computer, typed in. Oh no. Then Nintendo didn't even have a video on it, so I kind of had to look through screenshots and shit. It looks like there's lots of rhythm-based games where you move your Joy-Cons to hit things. That's all the information I have on this game.
It's crazy. This franchise is old as shit, and it's like it's aimed at kids. But I had Samba Amigo with maracas. Back on Dreamcast.
Didn't they come with maracas? Didn't they? Is that right?
Yeah, back in the day they did.
Yeah,
I had the game
that.
with maracas on the Dreamcast. Yeah, I loved this game. I absolutely loved it when I was a child. But now I'm just interested that you have these games which are obviously probably aimed at children, but no child now obviously was alive when Samba Amigo was out on the Dreamcast.
I mean, I think they're still alive.
It's weird.
They're just not
Very weird
anymore. But yes, I take the point you're making.
Yeah, that's a weird way
No
to
child,
put it.
including myself, is alive.
Ben, what have you done to
sorry, what I meant
everyone
was I totally probably messed up. I mean, a child now who it's being aimed at was not alive when Samba Amigo came out. That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
I was going to say, if you killed everyone
Not that I was no longer alive.
Ben has
say that.
become a necromancer in Diablo to kill the other Samba de Amigo generation people. That's what it is.
His skin tone does resemble that. So
that is true. Yeah, fair play.
Yeah, there you go. Right, you're not interested in this, Ben?
No, it's probably £50.
It's 35, Ben.
Ooh,
It's
hello.
a bargain next to Raincode.
Yeah. I'm just shit at these types of games, but I genuinely do like this. I did like this game back in the day, the older version.
All right, cool. Right, fair enough. Right, moving on to Synapse. Is that fine? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. That's accepted. Cool. PSVR 2, July 4th. Combine brutal and tactile firepower with surging telekinetic abilities as you dive into a hostile mindscape. Harness this lethal combination and master your own combat style as you dive deeper into a surreal world. Launch, levitate, and smash your enemies through destructible environments using motion controls and eye-tracking assisted aiming. We saw this somewhere, didn't we? Where did we see this?
PlayStation Showcase.
Thank you. That was. I was going to say itching my foot. That is definitely not the term, Eddie. Come on,
I'm itching your foot on that one. But
Itching my foot, but now I have scratched that itch. The visuals look great. The gunplay seems quite solid. It looks awesome, fun to use the powers. It's not a console seller for me, but my God, if I had a PSVR 2, I'd be getting this day one because I do think this looks a lot of fun.
Looks like super hot VR, but just souped up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Fair. I mean, even the visuals, the fact that it's kind of, I don't know, grey, blacky, white, but then it introduces the colours with moves and your powers and stuff. I just think, and also the thwack of the guns. Oof, I
it's
would
pretty
love
cool.
to this. Yeah. Mm. How about you, Pete?
I think it looks pretty good. That's
High praise.
Calm down.
High praise.
I have
praise, but
exhausted most of what energy I have by now. Right? We're at a very low ebb. It's definitely game of the week for me, if that helps, compared to everything else we've seen.
Not strong, not high
it's a
bar,
low bar,
but
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's pretty harsh, actually. It's a week with Samba de Amigo in. So.
How is it getting worse each time you say it?
And Master Detective Icons.
You'd have thought I'd be better at pronouncing it with me spending the last week and a half in
Also,
Spain.
what I enjoyed in the middle of that as well was you said, I think the game before you said, then Ben, but the way it sounded, the way it came across over this radio waves was Ben Ben. And I was there like, have you just picked up a new nickname for him while you've been away?
Ben Ben. I like that. I'm going to use that from now on. Classic Ben Ben.
Oh,
right,
gosh,
Pete,
that doesn't work.
My high pick of the week. Really? Yeah, it's got to be Synapse. I do think this looks brilliant. And all the other games look pretty they're either pretty bad or they're Switch games. So obviously that qualifies as pretty bad games.
Well, that's a powerful insult. Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah, hey, the pick of the week isn't bad. Synopsis actually looks really good. If I had a PSVR 2, and I recommend people who have a PSVR to first of all give me some money because you obviously have too much money, but then buy Synapse.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Excellent.
Definitely the game of the week, I told you. Right, and that brings us on to what we've been playing. And as always, I've been playing one thing. And you know, it's how this goes. There's a new phase in World of Warcraft. Obviously, that's what I'm playing. Even Diablo has faded into oblivion for now because of it.
Oh yeah, because you bought Diablo while I was away as well. Yeah, I heard that.
Dramatically fell behind everyone else I know who's playing it. So it was like, well, I'll just wait for season 1. Fuck all of you. And yeah, then a new phase of World of Warcraft came out and it just confirmed it. So this is phase 3, which has actually been a bit delayed. I think a lot of us were expecting it a bit sooner, but it is here. It's nice to have some new content, and suddenly the game's really active again, which is great. So it does take a lot of time though. So not playing much else. Sadly.
Yeah, I bet.
But yeah.
So how long does that last, Pete? How long does that kind of
so
phase and everything last?
Phase 2 was almost 6 months, which is longer than, which is way longer
Really?
than we
Fucking
were
hell.
expecting it to be. But that was January 21st, and then it's run through to June 20th. So 5 months. Yeah, that's a long phase.
I did say that this seemed to me odd timing, which it was unavoidable. Probably, when else are you going to do it? But you know that the player base that plays this game is also, at least there's a high Venn diagram.
50% of my guild are playing Diablo, and they're all back on this now.
Yeah, Diablo. Absolutely, yeah. So, but maybe they're timing it so that when season 1 of Diablo 4 comes out, then people will jump back and then kind of play both together or something. I don't know.
And it must be said that, so the raid in phase 2 is a 3-hour raid. It's a long one. And with the people who are committed, they'll be doing that twice a week. That's a lot. This new one you can do in 40 minutes. If you're good and you don't die, you'll be through it in 40 minutes. Which is, so it's quite a nice one, especially for summer, because it means you're not losing as much time.
We flex there. That's fine.
Yeah, we didn't die once in our first week. It's great. Yeah.
Okay, very obvious flex, but
we're good. Anyway, yes, that's all I've been playing. What about you, Eddie? While you've been away with your maracas in Spain, what have you been playing?
Well, if I knew about that Switch game, maybe I could have played that. But hey-o. I obviously been away for a while, so I came back. Yeah, I've got a bit of a funny story. I mean, I've just been playing State of Decay 2, Rocket League and Golf, the game, the Rory McIlroy one, so it's just swapping between those three, really. But I was playing a lot of Total War 3 Kingdoms before the holiday. I'm really into it again. Like, I think this is my favourite Total War game, which is huge. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. And I, of course, love the Three Kingdoms era. I was obsessed when I was a kid. I read the books and everything. And then what I'm doing is before holiday, so I'm playing a lot of that. And then I'm going on a holiday. And obviously you always read books by the pool, don't you? So I was like going through my books. And I find my Three Kingdoms
You
books.
Randomly find it.
So
that thing's like 1,200 pages. That would be half your suitcase.
Yeah. Oh no, it comes in. It comes in 2 volumes. Well, I think most of them come in 3, but I got the 2 volumes one. And so I found that, and I was like, oh, brilliant! I'll take it away. I took it away. I read the shit out of it. I read pretty much all of the. I took the 2nd volume because the first volume was fucking shit. So yeah, read pretty much all the 2nd volume, all in reminding myself of generals that I didn't even fucking know. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to find them in the game. I'm going to hire them. Came home. Oh, you can't access Three Kingdoms on Xbox. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it must be a sign out, sign in thing. Sign out, sign in.
No.
Can't do it. Type in Three Kingdoms 2 days prior to me returning.
That's brutal. That is brutal.
Do you want to purchase this for £35?
Oh, we know he does though. He does want to do that, but he's not going to. Fantastic.
I've put it on my wish list on Steam, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could pay a lot of money for it because I've already played probably close to 500, 600 hours
you'll
of it.
Get that again if you. That's the problem.
It's just devastating that I got so into the Three Kingdoms era again, and I came back and I saw that, and I nearly cried.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Yeah, but on the plus side, I have downloaded 3 games. I've downloaded Far World Pioneers, just waiting for the comments to stop going from this game is the most uncooked game in the world to, oh, this is acceptable now. Xenonauts, which I reckon I'm going to play soon after Ben tells us very soon about a very good game that's quite similar to it. And Death Stranding, after listening to last week's episode. I got it for free on that Epic deal. And I've been wanting an excuse to play for it. And I tell you what, hearing your comments about it last week, I think I'm actually going to really enjoy this. But I will tell you about that next week. And Ben,
cool.
I'm very much looking forward to hearing what you've been playing.
Yeah, I think if you go in with a positive mind, I think you will enjoy it. But yeah, I have been playing a game which I think is right up your street, Eddie. It's fantastic. So I've been playing Aliens Dark Descent. And this came out to... so I saw the reviews come out last week. It came out last week, and I was pleased to see a Metacritic of around about 70. Because that is kind of what you need with this game, I think. Because there were some really high reviews, and I watched Worth a Buy's review of it, and he was all aboard. And then obviously there's a lot of people who didn't like it. But it's this type of game that people might not like, you see. But it's hard as shit. It is so fucking difficult. I mean, it even warns you at the start of the game. As you're picking your difficulty, it just says it basically says, Aliens Dark Descent is really difficult. Read what we're telling you. Learn. It basically just warns you this is on normal difficulty, that it's going to be hard as shit. And from the outset, you're like, this is a real game. I know, we talk about recently you're playing Diablo and then playing this. It's like playing games which are not flashy. I know Diablo is flashy and got some cutscene stuff, but it's not flashy. It's more about just incredible mechanics and gameplay and the loop and everything. And it's definitely one of those games. So this game is an isometric, squad-based real-time strategy game. So you're leading your squad around. You control the squad of 4 Marines. You're telling them what to do, but you are at the mercy of your little squad. You're not controlling them. It's like a kind of bit like a Command and Conquer type thing. But you're telling them what to do. But ultimately, they can make their own mind at different times. And whilst you're not on missions, Eddie, it's got a base. It's got something that you're upgrading. It's got the different it's quite like one of those things where in between missions it's your menus, in going from your barracks through to your laboratory through to your weapons place where you're, and then to your medical area. So you're basically just handling that stuff, making sure people are being dealt with, medical. You're buying new weapons, you're gaining resources when you're out on missions to then buy more weapons, and then you're getting stuff through the laboratory to maybe get a different type of grenade, or get something which means that if a facehugger goes on one of your Marines, that you can kind of get it off and take them back and extract them and things like that. So it's pretty it seems to be a lot of depth on that type of stuff, and also you're promoting Marines. So every time your Marines earn individual XP, and you've got a barracks full of Marines, and you'll get new recruits. So when you extract some people that you find maybe on missions, you might add people to your squad. But they've all got negative traits. Everyone's got a negative trait, and then as you get XP, you can add positive traits. But also, as they get more scared, or they get more trauma from different events that happen, they get permanent debuffs. So eventually you're just walking around with a squad who
all have extreme PTSD, long-term injuries, and are terrified of the place.
Yeah, exactly. They're cowards. They can't see. Their mind's messed up. They just won't shoot their gun half the time. So it really does stack the odds against you. And there's permadeath everywhere.
That's a good way out of having that team. Yes.
It's on normal. Honestly, this game is fucking savage. It's terrifying. Like you go onto these missions and you've got like you obviously can see the map and you can see like the where it echoes when there's somebody like within 50 meters of you and all that kind of stuff, just like in the films, and you see and you're like it is you're just hoping that nobody sees you. When an alien sees you, holy shit! Like it's like, you play some of these alien games and the aliens just aren't really scary or they don't do much damage. Yeah, newsflash. This ain't pretty. And then, like, it's funny when it says, like, it'll give you tips and things will happen, like, something will attack your person, and then it will say, like, come up on the screen, they're critically injured, extract them, get them back to the thing to take them away. You're like, okay, and then you shoot the alien and get him to kind of kill the alien, then you go over to your person, they're already dead. Okay. Great. So that message that flashed on the screen was only valid for half a second because the time to kill was about 1.5 seconds. And so, like, the first mission, and this game, it seems to be quite long and stuff. Like, the prologue is more drawn out, and I'll go into that in a minute. But the first mission that you play, like, the missions that you go on, they're more like a set mission which you repeatedly go out to the same place. So it's like you've got an objective, but there's like 15 objectives maybe in that mission, or 6 objectives or something like that. And it might take you multiple deployments to get there. It's not all just like go out, do a mission, come back. You're going out to do part of it, see how it goes. And when the first time doing this first mission, like, it took me about 3 deployments to get to the end of the mission. And during that time, I had a completely different squad. No, I didn't have a completely different squad. Most of my squad was different. Like, at least 2 or 3 people were different. Like, I was doing quite well on my first deployment, but then I lost 2 Marines, and I was like, I'll just carry on for a bit. I'll just do a bit more of the objectives. Nah. As soon as any aliens turned up, you're dead. You're overwhelmed. You're dead. So you've got to get people back. As soon as you're in some trouble, you've got to think seriously. Do you come back? And when you're out on missions, everything gets more, the hive gets more angry and it progresses. So the longer you're out doing a mission, without coming back and redeploying, the worse it kind of gets for you and stuff like that. And obviously your team take more trauma and things like that. So, but this, I got to the end of this first mission. So, and as you approach the end of this mission, you click to open the door, and it basically warns you again. So this game loves to warn you how hard it is. And it basically says, prepare yourself for a big encounter. If you're not prepared, it's certain death. And you're like, yeah, okay, how fucking hard is it? This mission, this first mission's been cool. It's not that difficult. Literally 3 seconds and I was dead. Okay, that's great, dead. So load up again, think more strategically, maybe put up a turret, maybe facing the other way so things can't get you from behind, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dead again. Okay, right. That's cool, right? 3rd time's the charm. So you go in, and after a couple of times, you beat that boss. I beat the boss. That's fucking good. And then it goes, bigger wave's coming. And you're like, what the fuck? I've just done the boss. What are you talking about? Like, and then a bigger wave comes. You die. Yeah, all right, okay, I've got to do that. Got to really think strategically now. Got to do that boss, then do that, and then you've got another wave coming. Then it tells you kind of what the objective is to do to get some samples or something. And I was too slow on that. And then another wave comes, and it's like another fucking big boss. And you're like, how the fuck is anyone supposed to fucking do this? So then, basically, I turned it into a pure horror where I just killed things as quick as I could, tried to do the objective, picked up this fucking body that I had to extract, just ran like shit away so the third phase wouldn't come. And then the third phase did come, and my guy was still carrying the body. I was going to go back and help him. Nah, no chance. We just hightailed Scarped out the way, left him to die. You just got to you got to save yourself. I had to get out. But the good thing about the world that you deploy into, it kind of permanently changes. So if you weld up a door or something like that, it keeps that. And the body that I was extracting, it was already halfway extracted. So I could go in, get it again, and then get out to kind of complete it on the next deployment. But it felt like such an amazing achievement to fucking do this. And then I was like, this is mission 1. That's the first mission in the game. fucking hell. So yeah, I got onto mission 2. I got to the end of mission 2, and then honestly, it was so fucking difficult trying to do the end thing. I was like, right, I have to knock down the difficulty. The one issue I've got with the game is that you can't change the difficulty during your campaign, and it does warn you that up front. So I'm not criticizing it. There could be reasons stuff. So I restarted again on a. You can put it on easy. You can put it on custom difficulties and stuff like that. So you can tweak quite a few things. So I've had to start again because I just didn't see myself ever getting through it without learning more stuff. Because literally, my Marines would get promoted. They get good traits, or they get like you could give them like a gunner status and all this kind of stuff. Then they're dead. Like instant death. I basically lost a Marine that I'd put some good stats on, some good squad based proper buffs, and they died, and I was like, okay, well now I really am fucked.
I think there's two things that you've mentioned that makes it a really good game. One is I like a game that always makes me restart. Now I know that sounds weird, but I know that I'm going to enjoy a game if I think it's because I care about what mistakes I've made, so I go back and I play it again. And the other one is like when you care about your characters. There are so many games that I've played, management games, where I don't give a shit about the people, and then I go, well, I'm not going to enjoy this for much longer then, because if I'm not caring about the people that I'm literally controlling, then what is the point? So
Eddie, I had that. Yeah, like one guy it's called like Neuron or something, and I was like, okay, Neutron, Jimmy Neutron. I'll call him Jimmy. And then when Jimmy died, I was cut up. Not Jimmy. Take anyone but Jimmy. Yes. They abduct people as well. The aliens, right? That when you've got a man knocked down, they'll come over, they'll grab him and try and then I was like, I clicked on that alien. I was like, kill that bastard! Fucking he's got Jimmy. He's got Jimmy.
Not Jimmy.
Oh, and he fucking stole Jimmy, didn't he? That was it. That was the end of that. But my God, this is a good fucking game. Like I've played. My Xbox tells me I've played 10 hours of this game already. And I've only done like the prologue, 2 missions, and then restart and done the same. Like, but it's just been so enjoyable. Like, it's just been fucking great fun, and it doesn't hold your hand at any time. Like, you take too long, okay, things get pissed off, you die. You don't do something right, you die. You don't walk your squad backwards as they're shooting aliens. Oh, guess what? You're dead. It's just, you have to try so fucking hard just to not die on that normal difficulty. But
how many difficulty settings are there, Ben?
There's easy, normal, and I think 2 harder difficulties, and then you can choose to customize all things like enemy aggression and damage and all that stuff. So you can play around with it. I wouldn't recommend going on just putting on easy. I'd recommend maybe putting a couple of things a little bit harder, because easy it does seem quite doable, and like the issue that I have is you can't skip the prologue. I wish they brought in a skip prologue like thing. As far as I'm aware, there's not one, and that prologue is just annoying as shit. So that is the one criticism I have, is that tweaking your settings, I would like to be able to have more freedom to do that by not having to restart the whole game, maybe to restart after the prologue. So if they could do that, then that would be great. But it's really enjoyable, and it's a real fucking game. It really is. It's a good game.
Yeah, I guarantee Eddie will like that as well.
Nice. Yeah, totally agree. So.
Yeah. When it comes down in price, and it will, get it on your wish list, because it's fucking.
It's already on my wish list. Yeah,
actually go on mine as well. Yeah.
And that's a good price. A 35 typical PC game like that, I think I will be getting that in the next couple of months.
I tell you what, it is a bit glitchy at times, but I do tell you what, like, I'm glad that it's a £35 game as well. And I'm glad that it doesn't have amazing cutscenes and the fucking character models aren't fucking amazing. It's just like, you don't need any of that.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't. You just need good atmospheric, good lighting, like scary shit, good mechanics, good base upgrading shit. That's all you need.
Yeah. Proper PC game, that.
It is, yeah.
Excellent. Well, this brings us to the feature, gents. That was a poor woo, Eddie. But okay. Yeah.
Well, because it wasn't really a woo. It was a why am I wooing? I shouldn't be wooing.
Yeah, it's not a woo
Yes, yeah.
direct.
So this is, of course, the Nintendo Direct that happened on the 21st. So last week, end of last week.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ben, I know you've put in some notes here to talk about the overall sort of thoughts on it. I think that's a good place to start because
Yeah, like this was a solid direct. There's no doubt about it. Like I think a lot of people
all directs are really well put together. They're well edited. They've got good pace.
I've been the controversial one. Yeah,
they deliver it well.
Yeah,
every single time. It's what they're delivering.
Yep.
That can be the issue.
Yeah, and I think this was a perfect example of that actually because it was good. I think there's a lot of people out there that really enjoyed it. A lot of people gave it like an A or a B. For me, this was the biggest evidence that we've had yet that the Switch really is coming towards the end of its life cycle, and next year they need to be announcing that new Switch and getting on it. They're tailoring it again, I think, even more so towards kids than they have, and because this was incredibly Mario focused. This whole direct, they're riding the coattails of the film. Very Mario focused. We'll talk about the games in a minute, and I think they are telling it to all kids. And the reason is, and Pete and I had this conversation. I think kids are the ones pushing this console selling now. It's very few adults now will be going out there and buying a new Switch for the first time because Switch 2 will be out soon enough. But kids don't really care about that stuff. They just want to play the games they want to play. So I think it's a good move that they've pushed it towards kids. Solid direct, but it was a bit of a lame duck for me personally. There was no real game that I'm going to purchase out of it, but I can recognise that it was a decent direct. That fair reflection of your guys' opinions?
It's one of those. Yeah, it was well done. I always admire Nintendo for the way they do it, and that says a lot because you know how much I hate Nintendo. But I think you hit the nail on the head. I think the games were very child focused. I think there were. I remember like reading the doc, and it went like highlight a few things that you liked. And I was like, "Ooh, I am stretching." Like my first one was like Gloomhaven. Looks unacceptable. I would never play it, but I was like, you've got to put something down, Eddie, else they'll tell you that they'll say that you didn't watch it. What I like about that approach is that
Gloomhaven has been on PC for 2 years. So yeah, if you want an acceptable experience, you can play that right now for £30. I
won't be, because there are much better versions of that type of game more, on PC. Get Aliens Dark Descent.
There you go. But no, to be fair, I'm glad that I actually got to this before anyone else, so I didn't even see that because my highlights, and I'm going to go through them nice and fast here. The first one is, oh look, Vampire Survivors. Ben, oh no, wait, you played that out on Steam Deck already, didn't you? Like,
correct.
And then
it's got 4-player co-op
what a
now.
Massive addition. And the only other thing that stood out to me in this whole show was the Splatoon Euro Championships bit, which I actually thought was quite interesting, and I thought Splatoon would make a weirdly good esports game.
Yeah, and I think it makes a good game to watch as well.
I could kind of see that. Those were my highlights of the show.
Yes. So highlights is a strong way to look at it as well, because I didn't have any highlights, but I have highlighted the most important things in the show.
Okay.
So they showed Super Mario RPG, and that was a remaster / remake of the cult classic. I've never played it. I have no interest in playing it. Looks pretty shit, but yeah, fine. Yep.
That went downhill.
Luigi's Mansion 2. Yes, love Luigi's Mansion. Great. It's a remaster of the 3DS game. Again, this one's coming out in 2024. Not sure why they mentioned it. Maybe they mentioned it because there's not a lot else. Again, it's a remaster of the 3DS game, not a remake. So, yeah, but that's pretty cool, I think. There's a new Princess Peach game coming out 2024 as well. I don't know who's interested in that, but okay. And then they had Pikmin 4. They showed more of that. Looks boring. Cool. The first two are available on Switch now, so they shadow dropped those two. Pikmin is a relatively big franchise, I think, for Nintendo. Very much in the same vein as that Game Pass game that you guys like. Oh, Tinykin.
Yes. Tinykin
type game. Yeah, it's that type of game. So again, I never got into Pikmin in the past. I did try. I think Pikmin 1 or Pikmin 2. Not really for me. And then the big hitter at the end was Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which is the new 2D Mario game, which does look pretty good. But I've said on this podcast before, like, I've never really been that into Mario. That's one thing. And yeah, it looks a really solid 2D Mario game, new 2D Mario
Honestly,
game.
I thought you were going to say solid 2 out of 10 for a second there. Like, yes. Yeah.
But it's like that. For that's really the slant they're going. They showed a couple of other things: Detective Pikachu, Sonic Superstars again. That free-to-play MMO farming sim that looks like Fortnite called Parlia, and that actually looked okay for free-to-play. But if you love Mario, this is fucking it's all over it. Yeah, absolutely all in. But
brilliant.
Yeah, I think Eddie, you had a couple of other ones, didn't you?
There was the Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 that looked okay, and to be fair, the Star Ocean whatever that was called, that actually
did look
looked
good.
Pretty good. It really did. I liked the Octopath Traveler kind of look to it, the fact that it's like 2D and 3D. Yeah, and I like that kind of combat. So the Final Fantasy-ish combat.
Yeah, Star Ocean looked cool. Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah, I quite liked that. So, but it's disappointing because I normally come away from these directs going, that was really well done, and there's like 5 or 6 games that I would probably buy if I had a Switch, but this time it's just one.
Well, I mean, like one of their big reveals, obviously they mentioned the Metal Gear Solid collection that was shown, I think, at the Xbox One, and then they had the Batman Arkham games that people have been banging on about for a long time. So, like, okay, cool. Fine. It's fine. I didn't expect much from the event. It was solid. It's perfectly solid. But it's for me, it's actually probably a good direct because it's like, all right, time to move on now, guys. Let's
the end of the cycle.
Let's get a new system.
Switch 2, baby. That's the way. Yes.
Yeah, because they didn't show Metroid Prime 4, and I can only assume Metroid Prime 4 is a launch title for Switch 2. So, or it's dead. Yeah. But I think, launch title for Switch 2. So, get it announced. Last Switch came out in March. Go on then. Give us a 3-month, 4-month window or something to then look forward to a March release of Switch 2. That's what I'm going for.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I know. Or did they even mention that there wouldn't be a new Switch for at least 12 months?
I think they may have done. But yes, anyway, underwhelming as it was, still very well put together. That's where we entered this. Yeah.
It was,
Yeah, of course. They always do it well.
I mean, we literally said we didn't like any of the content, but the delivery style is right there. Yes, yeah.
There you go. But that's all you need.
So much better than PlayStation's showcase. But yes, that'll do for that.
There you go. We've had a good layer. We've had the PlayStation shocking waste of my life. Xbox was good, and then the fucking Starfield was brilliant, and then of course Nintendo.
I think PlayStation was right. I think Xbox wasn't, in my opinion, Xbox wasn't good, but Starfield was amazing.
So averaged out as very good.
That's probably what it was. It was probably the fact that I went straight onto Starfield, and then obviously I passed out after the Outpost bit, and then came to, and I was like, where the fuck?
You were happier than you'd ever been. Yes. Yeah, very much understandable.
Yes.
Well, if anyone had any more positive feedback on the Nintendo games featured in the showcase, how would they let us know, Ben?
You could email us, podcast@grumpygames.co.uk, or you can tweet us at grumpygamerspod.
But don't send voice messages to Twitter, because Ben still hasn't worked out how to extract.
Yeah, then more than once means I've really got to investigate on how to take it off there. I mean, actually, I'd encourage anybody to send a voice note, because then I would do that, and then I could put it on the show. That would be a nice little feature.
Right, everyone, flood in your voice notes.
Yeah, so actually, I'm not against that. Actually, like, I would put in the effort if it was actually a thing that's happening. Yeah.
It doesn't even need to be game related, even if it's like your shopping list for the week. Just fucking
or just
send it in.
saying that we have shit opinions. No fans.
Well, we get enough of that on Twitter, as it says.
Yeah,
so.
well, and in our personal lives, but
and from close friends. Yep. So.
So.
Fantastic. I'm glad we've cleared that up, guys. But for this week, I think it is GG.
GG.
GG.